Our community is celebrating the 100th anniversary of Black History Month with a special week dedicated to armed forces. And I'm joined now by DeWitt and Stephen to tell us how you can get involved with the Black History Month's Armed Forces Week. Welcome, you two. Thanks so much for joining me. Okay, let's talk more about how Buffalo actually was a very pivotal part of recognizing Black history.
Indeed. Well, I think Buffalo, prior to recognizing Black Veterans Day a few years ago, thanks to the leadership of Mayor Byron Brown, and then Mayor Chris Scanlon, and of course many of our local officials who stepped in to recognize it. There's been many markers to commemorate Black history here with the Jesse Clipper Square, including the African American Veterans Monument that's located right at Canal Side. So I think Buffalo has been being a pioneer and a leader in recognizing the service of our servicemen and women, and the Black Veterans Day proclamation definitely added to that history of honoring our historical heroes.
Tell us more about, one, why you thought it was important to have a day recognizing Black veterans, and how it also tied in with Armed Forces Week.
Sure. Well, you know, to God the glory, you know, I'm not that smart of a guy. Honestly, I happened to stumble across a very important date, which is November 7th. And November 7th happens to be a day historically that we commemorated last year as the 250th anniversary of a day of proclamation was issued that enabled those who were enslaved in America an opportunity through military action to earn their emancipation. So it was the first time we went from being enslaved to being able to be empowered, to fight for our freedom, and that happened, and it led to many people here in America who were formerly slaves to find homes in Sierra Leone, in Britain, and in Canada. So it is really the start of the Black military personnel. And in Canada, where Black Veterans Day actually was founded, we have that week leading up to Veterans Day is called Remembrance Week. And November 8th is recognized as Indigenous Veterans Day. So it was a welcome complement to that week of commemoration.
I love it. Okay, let's talk about this proclamation that made this week official and what that meant for you. Well,
recognizing Black History Month Armed Force Week is really because we recognize a couple dates that exists in the month of February that deserve to be celebrated. February 12th, marking the date of the 688, which we're going to talk a little bit about on here and tomorrow with the film, as well as February 19th, marking the activation date for the Tuskegee Airmen. So we saw these bookend dates as a way to say, hey, we have a week here that deserves to be celebrated. And with Black History Month, you know, celebrating the centennial celebration, this country celebrating its 250th anniversary, we thought it was very important that we did something unique in this month that really set the tone and turned over new traditions to new generations. So this proclamation not only recognizes Black History Month Armed Force Week, but it also recognizes President's Day as being Black History Month, President's Day of Hope and Opportunity, as well as Black History Month's Black Education Week. So we've turned this month into several weeks and days of focused celebration so that we can rally the community around it, and they can better share the history, you know, with schools and situations like this.
Stephen, can you tell us more about No Mail, Low Morale and the story that it tells?
Sure. It tells the story of the 6888. It was all women, all Black postal battalion in the Women's Army Corps. We had done a documentary on integration in the military, and this was kind of a follow-up to that. And it really focuses on what those women did. There was about 2 years of backlogged mail. And at a time where there was no email, you know, we couldn't just call somebody. So there were many families and many people overseas that just hadn't talked to people in years, which is wild. And these women came in and were able to sort through these millions of pieces of mail in a matter of like 3 months. And one woman, Indiana Hunt Martin, she's from Buffalo, and she was part of that battalion. So. And really proud of the story.
Yes, absolutely. And there's actually a screening that's happening. Tell us when and where.
That'll be tomorrow at the Buffalo Naval Park. It'll be inside the museum building on the 2nd floor at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Which is very important to note that usually it's a paid admission to get into the museum. So thanks to everyone at the Naval Park, you're going to get a chance to actually go inside and see the history physical items of history as well as the film.
Amazing. Let's talk about how we are concluding Armed Forces Week.
Well, you know, how we spent Armed Forces Week was very important as well, right? So, you know, I want to thank Darvin Adams for, you know, his blanket initiative, making sure that everyone has blankets who are homeless, because homelessness is an issue. We want to use this as a spotlight, obviously, to, you know, celebrate our heroes, but also talk about those heroes who are in need, who are homeless, who are looking for employment and empowerment. So we spent this time also serving Nate Boyd with we provide free food the other day. So it's just about being on the ground level where the veterans are and making sure that they can have all the services and the best quality of life possible, which they deserve. And you mentioned about where this came from, you know, sitting in the and I have to give credit to Walt Cook from Congressman Tim Kennedy's office. They do incredible work for helping veterans even get their medals that they were denied, because a lot of us were denied benefits and recognition. And we looked at how we can do something for February. So not only will this film be seen, and not only will you be able to visit the monument and the museum, but you're also going to be able to get a lot of important information that veterans need to improve their quality of life, thanks to Congressman Tim Kennedy's office. So we're going to be celebrating the local post here. We're also going to be recognizing Judge Russell, who actually transformed the court system to make sure that veterans had, that veterans were given the grace that they needed to get a second chance. So it's going to be a great gathering of our community, and then we're going to lay this wreath down at the African American Veteran Monument to conclude the day.
All righty. Well, thank you so much for coming in,
Thank
both
you.
of you, and sharing more. Viewers, if you'd like to join in on the celebration of the 100th anniversary of Black History Month, you can visit the Buffalo Naval Park on Thursday to see No Mail, Low Morale. Thanks again for coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.